resources. These are the dorms here that you can kind of look at. This is the different buildings for each different major and everything like that. That's the new Beat Center there that was built and opened earlier this fall. So there's a lot of different resources. If you want to get a look at this later on, like I said, let me know. I could send you that link as well. But if you guys want to come on up and come visit the campus, see your major, speak to the different departments, speak to the different professors, and kind of see if that really falls in line with what you want to study. I know that when you hear 100+ majors, or even when you're coming out of high school, there's so many different degrees, so many jobs that you can get. It is incredibly overwhelming sometimes. It's because we're all versatile people. We have a lot of different skill sets sometimes. So you could be a teacher, you could be this, you could be that. So we encourage you to come down, speak to the departments, meet the professors. It gives you an opportunity to kind of really see if that's where you actually want to fall in line with. Next, I showed you the different majors that we have on Southern. We also have a lot of other different great opportunities at campus. If you would like to study abroad, studying in Argentina, studying in Spain, Italy, Brazil, a lot of different opportunities that you really wouldn't get at any other university sometimes, to be able to go to different countries and study and build relationships with fellow students who are like-minded and want to kind of go around the world and visit around. It's a great opportunity that you can get here at Southern that we provide. Next, we have academic resources. Southern, we really want to help you to succeed as well. We understand that a lot of the people who come here are leaving their homes, leaving their families, leaving their safety net of what used to help them to succeed when they were in high school. So we make sure that we have tutors available. We have an amazing library with all the books that you could need to do your research, for those research papers, everything like that. Testing services. If you're not sure about your major and you want to do some testing services to try to find out what you possibly could be doing in your future, Southern does provide that for the students here if you're not sure. So it's a great opportunity, a lot of things that we provide to the students, so you'll be able to study and make sure that you're doing what you want to be doing with your future. Professors, we have a very good student to ratio with the professors as well. It's usually about 20 to 1, so 20 students to 1 professor. It's great because honestly, if you go sometimes to those big universities, it's a huge class. You have 100 students to 1 professor in your general biology class, and you're out there, you have a question, you want to reach out to your professor, then you try to go to their office right afterwards. There's a ton of people in line right in front of you, and you're like, hey, like, what am I supposed to be doing? I want to go visit my professor. I don't have 2 hours to wait in this line. So being able to have those professors that are, for one, knowledgeable in their field, and have done a lot of different avenues in their field. So I know that sometimes different degrees, you can go different ways with it. If you want to do graduate school as well, we have a lot of different professors who have done it in different ways that can kind of help map out your future as well. So those are some other resources we have there. If you want to find out more here on this page as well, I can share that with you. General requirements to go to Southern, we require a minimum of a 2.5 GPA and an 18 on your SAT or ACT, ACT, and then that would be right here, we can show you as well, 960 on your SAT as well. So those are some different requirements that we have here, but we're also not requiring the ACT or SAT to get into school this year, because we understand that with COVID, it's not as easy for everyone to be able to go take your SAT or your ACT multiple times and try to get into college and get the good degree. So we have some opportunities there available for you, and scholarships that are still available for you only based off of your GPA, not with your SAT or ACT. So there are some opportunities there with your future as well that we can provide. Next, campus life. As I said, we have a great campus life, that we have so many things for you to do while you're here on campus. It's a great opportunity if you're very near a lot of things. I know sometimes you can think about Tennessee and think it's so far away. There's nothing there. What are you going to do in Tennessee? Honestly, it's a great area. It's a beautiful campus, kind of how I showed you the quick virtual tour there. There's a lot of different places you can go here. We have great bike trails. Tennessee was actually rated, Chattanooga here was actually rated the top places to go mountain biking in the United States. If you're into that, there's opportunities there. There's downtown is just 30 minutes away from here. And then if you want to drive down, Atlanta's 1 hour 45. We have Nashville about an hour, 2 hours as well. There's a lot of different amazing things, fun things to do with you and your friends out in the area here if you want to experience that. Student life here on campus, we have the largest number of undergraduate students out of all the Adventist universities. So there's a lot of more opportunity for you to find students who are like-minded like you, same age, kind of be able to relate with them a little bit more. There's a lot of opportunities there. There's a lot of different clubs and organizations here on campus to help you to have a good time, help you to build community as well. Spiritual life on campus. Southern shines the brightest when we have, because we have a lot of amazing spiritual experiences here on campus. We have nearly 1,200 students are in life groups here on campus. So if you want to grow in your spiritual life, that was where I used to work when I was on campus, was in the Office of Ministry and Missions with life groups, and was sharing and building that Bible study with my peers and with my friends, and be able to build our relationships and not just be friends in the normal way that we talk sports or talk or whatever it is, but be able to talk about God and grow in our sense of spirituality together was an amazing experience for me. We have great campus housing. I know that some people get a little scared that when they sign up to go to a different university like this so far away, I don't have a friend that's going there. How am I supposed to room with someone? Who am I going to be living with? We have an opportunity for you to fill out a survey to make sure you're signing up with the right person. If you're a person who likes your room to be 75 degrees, it's probably best that we don't put you in a room with someone who likes it with 65 degrees, right? So we try to make sure that those things are taken care of, that you have people who are almost a little more like-minded with you that you can enjoy. Recreation here on campus, we have a great intramural program. It's probably one of my favorite parts when I was here at Southern, being able to play sports with the other students and faculty, and be able to have a great time doing the things that we're passionate about, things that we love, and being able to do all the different sports because they have so many cool different seasons. So we have different softball, basketball, volleyball, flag football, soccer, indoor hockey, indoor soccer, tennis, racquetball, a lot of different opportunities if that's what you want to be doing as well while you're on campus. And then as well, performing groups. So we have great orchestra, great choir as well. We also have an engaged worship team that also works out of this campus, out of this office itself. We have an exercise and aquatic center as well, like I mentioned, but we have engaged worship that comes out of this office actually right here behind me. They travel throughout the different states in the Southern Union to do a worship experience for different churches or local school or local academies as well, to be able to share the gospel with our community and be able to let them know that Southern is there, that we want to reach out and help spiritually to those who surround us. All right. Got to bring up the question, finances. I know that's the big question most people have. So finances, I'll be able to go back to share this financial screen that I had showed a little bit earlier. So total for Southern for each year is at $31,880. We're actually one of the cheaper private universities that are here available to you. So we're glad to be able to help with this. And there's a lot of different scholarship opportunities that we have. So we have a Southern Union scholarship if you're coming from the Southern Union, as most of all of you would be. We have a Southern Union scholarship. We have some academic scholarships. If you're based off of an academy student or a public school student, we have something for you there. Then we have stuff based off of your ACT, SAT score, or just your GPA, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, and different opportunities to work to get some more scholarships as well. So if you wanted to do some summer camp, or you wanted to do colporting, literature evangelism, we have scholarships for that. An honor program, just as every university does have. We have the Southern Scholars Program is what we call it. Private scholarships. This is one that I always push forward because I know most people who are in this college choosing process, Southern is an option, not the only option to most people. So financially, if you want to get some more money for college, private scholarships. This is a website that we have at Southern. This isn't the only website. This will take you to the different browsers that you could use. So I recommend everyone kind of saving this for later, southern.edu/private scholarships. These are scholarships that are available to you here on, not for just you here on campus, but you can take to almost every university that you go to. These are scholarships that are available to each person, and it bases it off of your demographic information. And you can be able to take that to any other university if you choose not to go to Southern. And then we have over 1,300 jobs available on campus for you to work in. So if you want an opportunity to do something that you're passionate about, or just want to go into your major a little bit more, work under a professor, get some more one-on-one time with them, being able to grow on that field that you're passionate about. So there's a lot of jobs on campus that provide a resource for you here to build a good community, earn some money while you're here for your tuition or just for yourself, whatever it is that you need in your financial situation. And then here on the bottom, this is federal financial aid opportunities. These are all FAFSA based. So I heard you guys are going to be talking about that a little bit later. So once you get your FAFSA, you'll find out a little bit more about how that applies to you and your situation and how kind of the money you can be awarded there. And then this is also based off of FAFSA numbers as well. So once you do your FAFSA, the number that comes out of there is what's called an EFC, an estimated family contribution. So that's what the government says that your family can contribute to college. Honestly, not always the most accurate thing in the world. Not going to lie, it wasn't from me and my family. They could say we could afford a certain amount, we could not afford that amount. So but that's the number that comes out of there. And then Southern also has different grants and aids that we give to different students based off of that EFC number for those people who need it. So that takes me here to the end of my presentation. Didn't want to do anything too long for you guys, something kind of quick, just a quick overview of our university. If you guys have any other questions, like I said, I know we're gonna have a little Q&A right afterwards, but if you guys have any other questions for me or about how the financial situation works for you personally, or you have any other questions like that, let me know. Like I said, my email is like my last name, Esparra there, @southern.edu. Give me an email. I'll put my number as well. It's 423-236-2556. That's 423-236-2556. Give me a call as well if you guys have any other questions. But yeah, that's the end of my little presentation. Is there any questions you guys have for me here now?
Okay, we have one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my question is, for an academic scholarship, what's the minimum unweighted GPA that you guys would be looking for?
So is this with ACT or SAT or not? Just the minimum GPA?
Just the minimum GPA.
All right, so if you have a minimum of 2.75 GPA, you can receive a $2,000 academic scholarship, and that's the minimum without an ACT or SAT. If you wanted to kind of move up the graph that I showed kind of there, the next level would be 4,000, but that would require at that point more with an ACT or an SAT.
I have another question. So
Go right ahead.
for SAT scores, what's the minimum that you guys are looking at?
Minimum that we're looking at, like I said, you don't really need one to get an academic scholarship, the initial one, but the minimum you would need is an 18 on your ACT, or SAT is a 960 to start getting into that scholarship number there.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
No problem at all. All right, any other questions that we have? If not, I know it can be a little intimidating to say them out loud, say them in front of the mic or whatever it is. I understand that as well. Like I said, you guys can message me personally if you have any other ones as well.
Thank you so much, Miguel. We're monitoring the chat to see if any questions pop up in here. Thank you, Sister Carrie Ann, for asking that question. We have one more question here for you. And she's coming to the microphone.
All right.
Okay, Miguel, good evening.
Good evening.
And I have just one question for now. I have quite a few, but one question. What is the percentage of students who are at Seventh-day Adventists and who are non-Seventh-day Adventists? Do you have a percentage of that?
Someone just asked me this the other day, and I had been meaning. I told myself I was going to research it, and I honestly forgot to research it during the week. But I will look it up on Monday. I know last time I looked, it was about 93 to 95% of our students are Adventists. We welcome, of course, anybody if they're not Adventists as well. But it's a very high percentage of our students that are Adventists. It's about 93 to 95 from last time I was told.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening. I have just one more question.
Mm-hmm.
So, could you tell me some more about the summer program there? Because I've been getting emails about it, but I didn't really look into it. So, could you tell me a little bit about that, please?
Great question. It was one of the nuggets that I probably forgot to mention a little bit more about. So if you're interested in coming to Southern in this fall semester, we actually offer a free summer course. So the class itself would be free for you. The only thing you would have to pay for is the meal plan and the board. So you get a free class. It's usually a general ed class. So we wanted you to kind of be able to get the feel for Southern itself and kind of get the feel for what college is like a little bit more. So then by taking that one class at the time, that's a 4-week, it's a 3-week class that starts right before the fall semester begins. So you can kind of get acquainted. You build your relationships with incoming freshmen as well in your same grade. If you're interested in kind of finding a little more research on that class, I can send you the information on there, but it's still just southern.edu/smartstart. So that's what we call it, Smart Start. Be able to start in a smart way, be able to free class. So why not? So then that's what that class usually is. So you just have to pay for the meal plan and the board, but that class is free for all incoming freshmen in that beginning before that fall semester. I got a question of what is the website for this college in the chat. So then that is southern.edu. That is our website. So you can kind of find almost all that information that I brought up there is all based off of that website with the scholarships and everything. But if you have a hard time finding any of that information as well, just like I said, send me an email, give me a call. I would love to kind of relay that for you guys.
Okay, come on over. We have one more question for you.
Sounds great.
One more question. Is it possible to describe an example of the schedule that you will during the
Okay, the schedule for the student coming in. Yeah, that was something honestly that is very different. That comes from with when you go to college, you get to build your own schedule a little bit. So minimum to kind of be a full-time student and to be exceeding the numbers. So minimum for a full-time student is 12 to 16 credits. To keep kind of on pace for most students, you're requiring usually 15 to 16 credits to kind of stay on pace at your graduation number there to make sure you're done in your 4 years. So that's usually about 5 classes. So the way that college credits work, I know some people don't know, so I want to explain this before I kind of dive into it. Each credit class, so let's say you have a 3-credit class, that's kind of based off of how many hours you're going to be in that class per week. So if you have an English class and you're meeting 3 days a week for 1 hour each day, that's a 3-credit class. So then you're mixing in your core classes, your general education classes. Most classes are 3 credits, usually just kind of some other classes like your fitness classes or some extracurriculars usually are 1 credit. So usually you're just taking 5 to 6 classes. If you decide, you can load them up usually Monday, Wednesday, and a couple on Friday, or you could just do Tuesdays and Thursdays. Really is up to you. That's one of the great liberties that comes with going to college is being able to make your own schedule. And that's why we also always recommend once the enrollment opens for even any university is to kind of hop on the enrollment as soon as you can, because you can kind of build your schedule and not have to just get the leftover classes that are available to you, but be able to get the first pick and make sure that you have a schedule that you're comfortable with and that helps your life to be a little bit easier.
Thank
Does
you.
that answer your question?
Indeed, you did. I have one more question.
All right.
How is church life on campus going to be?
Church life on campus, that's a great question. So locally within 5 miles, we have about 30 plus churches that are here nearby Southern. So you can go to a different church almost each Saturday for at least your full first semester, that kind of be able to experience some different types of worship, different types of people in different areas here. But every Friday we have Vespers. That is a great worship experience. You have worship life, like I mentioned earlier, with life groups. That was something that I was really passionate about during my time here at Southern. And then, like I said, we have the local university church that's right here out of my window. You guys can't see, but it's out of my window here, and I can see there. And then they have 3 different services each Sabbath, a collegiate service that's run by the youth called Renewal. And then they have one more for the high school students, and then more of almost all the local students as well go to the earlier service if that's what you like to do as well. So there's a lot of different options for church here at Southern, and we want you to be able to do whatever is most comfortable for you and have the best experience possible.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening. I have a
Hello.
question.
hmm
What is the age group for the summer program?
So for the summer program, that Smart Start program is mainly all incoming freshmen. Those are incoming freshmen all there. So those are mainly all of your 18-year-old students and 19-year-old students who just graduated high school, all coming together. It's a great opportunity to meet those relationships, make those relationships with students at your same age, coming to college for the first time and getting that experience. So they're all about 18 and 19 for that summer for that Smart Start program.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
We have another question, Mr. Espark. We have
All
one
right.
for you tonight.
No, sounds great.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Do you take students like even they're not age yet for college?
So I couldn't hear that question. Can you repeat that for me?
Do you take students like who is not ready for college, like who is in high school, just want to enter the summer program?
So the summer program, we have summer programs actually for different majors also as well, not just Smart Start. So if you are a freshman, sophomore, we have different summer camp programs that you can come here for. So there's like a photography program, cybersecurity program. So those are for usually freshmen and sophomores. If they're not in that college readiness program yet, they're not incoming freshmen. We have programs for them as well. But then that Smart Start program I was mentioning earlier, that is for only the incoming freshmen that are coming for the first time.
Thank you.
hmm
Okay, Miguel. So you mentioned high school. What about high school? You said something about high school services for, you have three different services at the church, unless I misunderstood what you said.
Yeah, so we have a service here that it's called Connect. It's run by it's intentionally more for the Collegedale Academy that we have here, but a lot of students do enjoy that service. A lot of high school students are a part of that, run that program a lot more. So that's what I meant there by the high school program there. So we have that one's usually run out of the high school gym for Collegedale Academy there. And then usually that renewal service that's done by the college students here at Southern, they run that program more essentially. That one's there running the University Church in the mid service about 11 o'clock. And then we have the earlier service in the morning.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Miguel. We've come to the end of your presentation. We really appreciate you for taking the time out to present to us. And I'm sure we learned a lot and we're going to be having questions. And could you once again give us your email
hmm
information?
Yes. And again, it was my pleasure to be able to speak with
Phone
you
number
guys.
so we can jot that
hmm
down.
All right. Yes, it was my pleasure to speak with you guys. And if you guys have any more questions, like I said, reach out to me. My name is Miguel Esparra. So my email is the same thing. It's mesparra at southern.edu. So mesparra at southern.edu. That's mesparra at southern.edu. And then if you also want to call, you can call my number. That's 423-236-2556. That's 423-236-2556. So reach out to me if you guys have any other questions. I know sometimes in the middle of the night you wake up, you have a question, you're like, oh wait, I had to ask that. So ask away, send me an email, give me a call, whatever it is. I'd love to help you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so
hmm
much once again.
No problem. You guys have a great one.
You too. All right, we move on. Thank you. We're going to move on to our next presenter. Her name is Miss Magdalene Exantus, founder and CEO of Mutual Education Group, LLC, and a Brace advisor for Broward School's Northeast High School. And she's been helping students achieve their goals of obtaining scholarships and helping them to be prepared for life after high school. I met Miss Zanctus several years ago, and she has a passion to see students succeed. So I think we're going to learn a lot from her tonight. Stay tuned.
Thank you, everyone. All right. Thank you for the opportunity, Ms. Shireen, for inviting me here. Truly appreciate it. I always get a pleasure of
speaking about education. I've been gifted by the grace of God to get an opportunity to be able to share the gift and the talent that God has given me. And sometimes I want to run away from it because it's a lot. But the Bible says God will never give you more than you can handle. So we thank God for his blessing tonight for bringing us here. My presentation is going to focus on what's your plan after high school? What's your plan after middle school? When I do this presentation, I always said even if I was presenting to one person, that one person is going to be touched by it and it's going to be shared by somebody else. And then that's how the tree grows. So my name is Magdalene. I am from Northeast High School. I always also have a business, Mutual Education Group, LLC. We help students fulfill their dreams of goals of going to school. I think I'm doing this right. Correct? Yes, thank you. So we want to focus on tonight on what do you want to do after high school? What are your goals? What are your plans and your aspirations? We do have some people listening in the Zoom meeting for us. So if you have a question, you can put them in the chat or oh, I got it. Okay? If you have a question, you can put it in the chat and you can also ask question after the presentation. So what do you want to do? What do you see yourself do? Who you are? If you don't know how to answer these questions, a lot of time I say pray about it because that's what I do. So it's not about where you go, it's about what you do and what you want and who you are. All right. Thank you so much. So we want to first talk about the middle school year. The middle school year are the grade between 6, 7, 8, and that's the 3 years. So I like to talk about middle school. Elementary school is still my passion because I do believe the first 5 years of a student attending a school is important, and that's the elementary school. Once you get into middle school, you have to start planning. So if you are in the Zoom meeting, you're listening to the middle school for the middle schoolers, or if you have a family member who is in a middle school, the first thing you want to do is meet your middle school transition requirement to high schools. It varies from state to state. In middle school, there's certain classes that you have to take in order to move into the high school. If you're not taking math, if you're not taking English, you're not going to be able to advance to high school. So a lot of time, what I tell my middle schoolers, or if you have students in middle school, you want to make sure that they get into an advanced program. Kids are smarter than you and I think. They can do the work. You guys can do the work. The reason you want to get into the advanced program, for example, you have the Cambridge program, you have the high school credit courses that you can take, you have the honor society. So the state of Florida says that if you take advanced classes in middle school, you'll have a better chance of succeeding in high school and in leaving high school with money in your pocket. Okay? So once you take the advanced program, like your IB program, advanced classes, international baccalaureate program, that's what it's called, you want to make sure that when these advanced classes come together, that they are aligned with the high school credits. So when you are in middle school, you can take high school credit. Because what's going to end up happening in middle school, when you take high school credit, your high school is shortened. You're not doing 4 years of high school credit. You're doing just 3 years of high school credit, and then you're going to school to learn a trade. You're going to Atlantic Technical to learn a trade. So your advanced program in high school is important. So take high school credits. My daughter, she's in middle school. She is taking high school credits in middle school. And when she gets into high school, she's going to take college credits. Okay? It's middle school, high school credits, and high school, you take college credits. They're pushing education higher now. High school starts in middle school, and college starts in high school. If you have kids in middle school and high school, they're pretty much learning about college education when they're in high school. So you want to have the kids who are in middle school take high school classes. They want to get into the honor society. The honor society is also for kids who are well advanced. They can get A's and B's, but if they have B's, they're still taking them. So if you have a student, talk to them about the honor society. You want to prepare for the PSAT. The PSAT is a practice standardized test. The SAT, you need that SAT in order to go to college. If you don't pass the SAT, you'll go to college, but you may not be able to go to the college of your choice. So you want to prepare for that in ninth grade. As you can see, I'm talking about the middle school, but I'm talking about the PSAT there. Because with the PSAT, it prepares them to take it in ninth grade. There is a reading requirement that you have to pass. And they said in third grade, they take the FSA. They said many times, students who do not pass the FSA, that's how they know how many prisons to build. So if they're not passing the Florida standardized assessment, the state of Florida is using that statistic and said, okay, this is the amount of prisons that we're gonna need to build. Because if you cannot read in a third grade level, you have a problem. The requirement for the FSA in third grade is a 2. If you get a 1, they'll try to help you. They'll send you to summer school. They'll help you as much as they can. But then they're gonna come to a point. They said, we can't keep you in the third grade. We're just gonna push you along. We got what we needed from you. We got the statistic. We know how many prisons to build. We'll just push you along. So you have to be able to get the kids ready in elementary school, so when they get into middle school, because as you can see, high school is prepared in middle school. There's also a form, I call it the CSS form. It's the application for institutional scholarship. When you are in middle school, you can apply for scholarships. You can apply for scholarships. If you want more information, you go to the CSS. It's still in the College Board, collegeboard.edu. You can still apply for scholarships in middle school. There's a scholarship that the state of Florida gives, but the kids, it's called Take Stock in Children. It's called Take Stock in Children. If you're listening in the Zoom, Take Stock in Children. The Take Stock in Children scholarship says that you have to go to this mentorship program. The mentorship programs, once you get into the Take Stock in Children mentorship program, you are guaranteed 2 years of college degree, a scholarship for free. So college is how many years? 4 years in the United States. The state of Florida says if you apply for the Take Stock in Children scholarship, you get 2 years of college for free. Okay, so make sure my daughter is also in this program. She's in every program, poor girl. She's in every program. I told her, I don't have money for you to go to school. I have money to help you with life, not school. God gave you a great brain, use it. And I will help you. Okay, so the student needs to start the PSAT, even if they're in middle school. Khan Academy. Khan Academy, Khan, is a website that students have to use to practice your PSAT, your SAT. Khan Academy, they can do this in middle school. They can do this in elementary school. It's okay. The kids know more than you and I would think. Okay? So middle school, we spoke about getting into advanced program. Take high school credits. Like I said, I have students in middle school who are taking 3, 2, 4. Some of them already done with their high school credits in middle school. Their requirements, their English and their math, just to be precise, because they still have to go to high school to get electives. So those are for my middle schoolers. Please, middle schoolers, high school starts in middle school, okay? All right, so let's talk about my high schoolers. My high schoolers, what did I do? There you go. Oops, sorry. Pressed it too far. Okay, so my high schoolers meet your high school graduation requirement. You need to meet your English, you need to meet your math, you need to meet your reading. I work at a high school. I get a lot of students that comes to cry to me every day, Miss Maggie, I can't pass my reading, I can't pass my math. Because if they don't pass those, they cannot graduate high school. They can graduate high school, I'm sorry, let me take that back. They can graduate high school, but instead of getting a standardized Florida diploma, they get a certificate that says they went to school for 12 years. That's a very sad thing to hear a kid cannot do anything, just a certificate. You went to school for 12 years, here you go. And then that's their life. Okay? So they have to meet their graduation requirement. It varies from state to state and county to county. Since we're talking about Broward 2 years ago, back to back, 2020, class of 2020, class of 2021, the state of Florida wiped out every requirement because of the pandemic. They said, you know what, we can't do these things to these kids. They wipe out every requirement from class of 2020 because of the pandemic, class of 2022, they were still online, class of 2021. Class of 2023, there is no waiver. They don't meet the requirements, they don't graduate high school, they gotta go get their GED, which is harder than the high school requirement. So I have a lot of students, they cry, but there's other ways that the state of Florida, again, is helping you meet your requirement. Take the SAT, pass the SAT with a certain point, you can meet your requirements to meet your math and your English. Okay? So, meet your requirements. High school students, they need to be in an ACE program, IB program, or magnet program. I don't care what school they go to, they either have one of these programs. Please, I beg you. If you have kids in middle school, if you have kids in high school, this is the best thing that will ever happen to you after life. This is the best thing, not even after life, in this life. The ACE program, you go to your school, please, 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 please. This program goes over, if you see where I put Florida Bright Futures Grants First Generation, the state of Florida says if you take 7 classes in ACE, IB, or magnet, any sort of magnet program, we will give you, take the 7 class, you pass the 7 exam, we will give you a full ride scholarship to any school in Florida. No question asked. You give us 7 class, you pass 7 exam, and these programs, they have to be from the ACE program, the IB program, or any sort of magnet program. The state of Florida is giving you 4 years of free college, no money asked. You're not paying a dime. 4 years. You want to go to Florida State? 4 years, here's your money. You want to go to FAU? Here's your money. No question asked. When you take classes at FAU, the state of Florida receives your receipt that you've taken classes, and the state of Florida pays the college for you. The classes the students have to take them is in high school. Those do not count classes in middle school. ACE, IB, just the acronyms are very long. Just write them down and talk to your guidance counselor at the school. It's an advanced program which is going to require the students to study. So there's no bypass. You have to take the 7 class and pass the 7 exam so you can qualify for the Bright Futures. So if the student is qualified for Bright Futures and they get the Pell Grant, the Pell Grant is your money. The government gave you money to go to school, that's your money, because the state of Florida is paying for you. I have a student right now, he's going to FAU, he's getting at least $7,000 a semester. $7,000 coming in his pocket. That's the goal that I have for my daughter. $7,000 just to go to school. Not for him to pay school, because he has Bright Futures, he has other scholarship, he has grants. So that $7,000 is going to be in his pocket. No money asked, no money. So I told him, take that $7,000, invest it, put it in an account, take care of it, pay your insurance, your car bill, and take care of it, okay? So Florida does have state grants. If you are first generation, I was a first generation. I was the first person in my family to go to college. So I received the first generation grant, okay? So I received that first generation grant. So I did not pay for school. I didn't pay for school. The government paid for me because we did come from a low-income family. I wasn't qualified for the Florida Bright Futures because I didn't know about it. I graduated school 20 plus years ago, so I didn't know about it, but it was there, okay? College entrance exam documents. Seniors, if you are graduating, be prepared, because what I'm seeing now, a lot of students, they cannot prove that they live in the state of Florida because their families are immigrants. So I tell my immigrant family, if you live with a family member, just try to get a bill under your name. Try to get a light bill, a water bill, some sort of a bill so you can prove that you live in Florida. Just try to get some, because you don't need to prove immigration status to get a light bill, FPNL. You don't need to prove immigration status to get a water bill. So what I'm dealing with now is that I can't prove that my immigrant families live in the state of Florida. So we have to go certain ways, and just, it's really bad because sometimes the kids can't go to school without just that one light bill that says that I live in Florida. Okay? It can't be a credit card. It can't be a bank. It basically has to be attached to Florida. Okay? So high school students, get that ready. High school student, the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. Every year, the federal government puts aside billions of dollars for students to apply for the FAFSA. The FAFSA, if you make over $50,000 or $60,000, you're not qualified. Or if you make over 50 to 60,000, you're not qualified. You're gonna have to get Pell Grant, or you're gonna have to get loans, or you're going to have to get scholarships, or you're gonna have to get the Florida Bright Futures. So I tell my immigrants family too, or family members, make sure, talk to your tax person. See if the taxes can be done with one parent or another parent, where you don't have any saving for college. Talk to your tax person and see if the child can be in a person, because you can do your tax separate, as married filing separate, but I'm not giving tax advice, but I'm just saying I see that a lot of times when the parents don't understand, they end up paying for it at the end. Okay, so federal grant, you have to have a social security number. If you don't have a social security number, there's other ways we can get you the financial aid. Okay, so the Common App, seniors, if you have not done the Common App, please start applying. So the Common App is your one-stop shop to do all your financial aid. All your college application. You need an essay. You need an essay. If you are in middle school, you need an essay. If you are in high school, you need an essay. What is involved in the essay? The essay is your upbringing, which is the first paragraph. The middle of the paragraph is your your activities. And back to activities, seniors, I didn't put that up there. You need 40 hours of service hours. You don't have 40 hours, you cannot graduate high school. For the Bright Futures, you need 100 service hours. Okay? 100 service hours or 40 hours for graduation. I had a student who had a 30 service hours. He did not meet the requirement. He did not graduate high school. Service hours, I tell them, go to your church, go to your local community center, go to your mayor's office, volunteer. Please, please, please. It breaks my heart a lot of times when I see students can't graduate because of one little simple mistake or little oversight. Okay? So seniors, please pay attention to your requirements. Pay attention, pay attention. There is money out there. They are giving me money away. I wish I could just hold everybody and say, here's money. And I tell students, I applied for a nursing scholarship and I didn't go to nursing school. But because I was the only one that submitted my application, they gave it to me. So I tell students a lot. It doesn't hurt to apply. I have a student who applied for 80 scholarships because it's a full-time job. What is it? You're going to work for the money, or you're going to use your brain and stay at home and write essay and do application? I'd rather stay at home and work for the money that way. So please pay very close attention to your senior graduation. Sometime I press the button, it works. You want to try it for me? Thank you. Okay, so your options after high school, right here for me. So your options are, you can go to college, which is the 2 years. So Florida has a 2-2 plan. You do 2 years at Palm Beach State or Broward College, and then you go to Florida Atlantic University or FSU, Florida State, which is in Tallahassee, UCF, which University of Florida, which is in Gainesville. You can either go to university, straight 4 years. Trade school, your high school student can go to trade school and leave with a certificate, and leave with an LPN degree, and leave with an electrician degree. High school student, I have high school student who leave with a high school diploma and a plumbing, yes ma'am, money. Oh, they make more money than me. The electrician gave to my house $300. I said, for what? Oh, I fixed up this. I said, you didn't fix anything. So in high school, the kids can go to get a trade. I had a student who went to high school, got a high school diploma and an LPN degree, and now she's working as a school nurse in New York. Okay, make more money out of high school. Instead of working for Wendy's, McDonald's, Publix, she left high school with a career, because it's going to trade school. You graduate with a career. So if you have kids in high school, it's called career dual enrollment. Career dual enrollment. It's called career dual enrollment. My daughter is going to do it. That poor girl. She's going to do it. I have students who goes to high school and graduate with a certification in computer science. So they can go to school and after high school, use that while they go to university and make more money than me. So trade school, it's called career dual enrollment. You have dual enrollment where the kids take college credits. You have career dual enrollment. They take a career while they're in high school. Say they graduate with a high school diploma and a career. I wish I knew these things. Okay, so trade school is important. They can go to the workforce after high school. A lot of kids want to go to the workforce. They want to work, especially with a lot of my immigrant students. They said, Miss Maggie, I have to work because I have to help my family. The least favorite for me is the leap year. Students just take off because they don't want it. They just take the year off. They don't know what they want to do. That's not my favorite, so I'm going to leave them alone. Okay, so trade school, I push that heavily for my immigrant student, because if they're not qualified for FAFSA, they can go to the Atlantic Technical, Sheridan Technical. McFarland's not too far from here too. So those are careers. Okay. So talk to your students or family or friends. Let them know they can learn a career while they're in school. Next slide, please. So the next one for my high schoolers, you need a resume. You need service hours, high school kids. You need service hours. You need the 40 hours, and you need service hours, because that will help you to get scholarship. The goal of this is to get money back in your pocket. Not give you student, you should never have to pay for college. Never have to pay for college. Your SAT score, to get into your university, you need a 1300. 1300 to get into a university. I didn't get 1300. I did the 2-2 plan. I went to Palm Beach State, and then I went to FAU. Okay? So your ACT and your SAT are test scores that you need to get into college. Next slide, please. So this is the 2-2 plan I was telling you about. The state of Florida says that if you cannot go to university, if Florida Atlantic is not accepting you because it's a university, they have certain requirements you need to meet, then you can go to a junior college and take the 2 years there, and then definitely FAU will accept you. This is what I did because I didn't have the SAT score to get into FAU, but I still graduated from FAU because Florida has a 2-2 plan. 2 years out of community college, 2 years out of university. That gives you 4 years and your bachelor's degree. Guaranteed junior status. You need 60 credits at Broward College. What's the best major for your school? Next slide, please. Make sure that you pick a school that has your major. A lot of students, they want to go to school and study medical. A lot of kids want to go to University of Florida because it is the #1 school in Florida. UF is the #1 school. I've worked with a lot of kids. They've been accepted into UF. Their SAT was 1500, 14 or 1500. It's very high. So you can do schools that are regional accredited. All public schools are regionally accredited. Private school like Nova, other couple of schools, you got to check your accreditation, because private schools are a whole different ballgame from the state of Florida. A lot of time too, charter school. Be careful with the charter school because they may not have something that the college is going to require. So charter school, be very careful with them. I don't push charter school as much because I work for the county, and I know there's more advantage with the public schools than the charter school. Next slide, please. So this is a picture of all the schools that are in Florida. You have FAMU that is in Tallahassee, FSU, Tallahassee, Jacksonville. So whoever's, if you want to take a quick picture of this, this is a good picture to have because it has a list of all the schools that we have in the state of Florida. Okay, so how do you apply for college? Next slide. You want to go apply for college on their website. The college website is the best place to go because it takes you directly to where the information that you're going to need to apply is there for you. That you're going to need, the requirement is there. You can go to Common App. I push Common App because it's a one-stop shop. There's over thousands of colleges all over the world, all over the US. They can go to Common App. Seniors, students in college, please, if you're listening, Common App, Common App, Common App, except private school. University of Miami, private school. If you go to FAU, you're paying $10. University of Miami, you're paying $100. Same degree, same career, same field. But because it's a private school, it's higher. Okay? So I don't push private school again. Okay? What to submit? Your transcript. So if you want to, for again, your transcript, your SAT score, and your letters of recommendation. Your letters of recommendation can be from your church, from your friend down the street, or from a teacher. So please have letters of recommendation. Next slide, please. How many schools should you apply to? I tell anybody, if you're in middle school, keep your ears open. You need to apply to 8 colleges. Trade school, trade and technical school, a junior college, and a university. You want to at least apply to one school, which is the University of Florida, which is the #1 school in Florida, or Harvard. You got to shoot for the stars because you never know. Apply at least to one school. Apply to the two mid-range school, and then one apply to your financial safe school like FAU, FIU, Broward College, Atlantic Technical, Sheridan Technical School. So, but at least apply to 8 colleges. Okay, I gave you the picture of the colleges in Florida. Definitely apply to at least 8. Okay, so seniors, next slide please. The basic, they're very basic. You need the application, you need the test score, you need a personal statement, which is your essay, you need payment. You gotta pay to apply for college, $35. Many times that's waived. If you have not applied for free and reduced lunch, I'm begging you to please apply for free and reduced lunch. Even if you think you're qualified, if you're not qualified, that free and reduced lunch letter opens up so many opportunities for you. You need that letter that says you apply for free and reduced lunch. And your transcript. So the transcript is a basic information that has all the classes that you took in high school. That's your transcript. You need a transcript. You need to pass your test. You need to have the service hours. You need them. There is no waiver this year. The pandemic is gone in the eyes of Florida. So there's no waiver at all. Next slide, please. So financial aid is money from any source other than a family for education expenses. I spoke about the Florida Bright Futures. I spoke about Pell Grant. I spoke about private scholarship. You can get scholarship for just being a left-handed person. You can get scholarship for just having brown eyes. There is so many scholarship out there. The best website I tell this, especially student in Broward County, Naviance. We have Naviance that we use. It's through the school. You can get scholarships, guys. Like I said, if you don't apply, you don't receive. I applied, I received. I never paid for school every semester. So after semesters about 3 months, August, September, October, November, 4 months, I would get a check after my classes were paid in August in college. And the check would be about $2,000. So they were paying me to go to school. So the federal government was paying me because I was qualified for the Pell Grant. And the qualification varies. Again, the max is $50,000 to $70,000 if you make more than that. You do not have to pay for school. Please, please, please. Scholarships, some colleges gives you scholarship. FAU gave me scholarship because I was the first person in my family to go to school, to go to university. So FAU gave me scholarship. I applied for a scholarship that says write an essay on nature, write an essay on the water, write an essay on the pollution. There's so many scholarships out there. You should never have to pay. Check the date of the application, your transcript, your test score. Ivy League school like Harvard and Yale school do not offer merit-based. Merit-based scholarship is students with straight A's. Harvard will not give you a scholarship for straight A's because they know all the kids that come there are going to get the money. But, so that's why Harvard won't give you money. Now, you're already straight A. Yes, they're straight A students, so they don't give, that's the merit base. Now there's need-based. Need-based is financial. If you don't make a lot of money, um, based on their criteria, then you would get the need-based. But merit, if you hear merit, anytime the kids say merit, it has to do with their grades. Okay, next slide, please. So, financial aid, we're going to continue to look at it because it's money, money, money. Federal, need-based, not grades, not score. October 1st is October 1st of every year. This will not change because it did not change for me 20 years ago. I had to apply for financial aid every year. Every time you file your taxes every year, you got to apply for financial aid every year to get money. October 1st. Remember, no matter if your kid is 5 now, and then they're going to be 20 next couple of years, 20 years from now, they got to apply. If they don't apply, you don't get it. The deadline is June 30th. So if you are a senior listening, June 30th is the last cutoff for you to get the money. Private school does not give money. So sorry, there's no the CSS profile, the College Board website, you don't get it. Federal student aid, please, FAFSA, FAFSA, FAFSA. You gotta apply. There's no ifs, nothing. You gotta apply. So a lot of scholarships, they have to do, next slide please, they have to do with your grades and your test score. Community service hours, leadership, join a club. In high school and middle school, do not just send the kids to school and say go to school. Join a club, join an organization, join some sort of activity. I played sport. I did everything in high school, and I applied for scholarship. I got them because there's scholarship for sport, there's scholarship for drawing, there's scholarship for cooking, there's scholarship for anything. So that's why I tell parents, don't let the kids go to school. They come home, school's over at 10 o'clock. No, put some extra snack in their bag and let them stay after school. Find an activity to stay after school because that will pay off in the long run, okay? Community service hours, they need 40, but I tell them to shoot for at least 200. Once you hit that 200 mark, scholarship comes at you like water. It's doable. The kids can do it at church. They can do it in the anywhere, okay? Yes, anywhere. Yes? Yes, nonprofits, yes. It's doable. I tell kids that you don't have a job. Your job is school. School is your job. If, if, if your parents and your guardian are able to provide for you, please. If you're able to provide for your kids, please let them go to school. Because like I said, I have a student getting at least $7,000 a semester every 4 months from FAU because he received the Bright Futures. The state of Florida is paying his school. He received the Pell Grant, which is $6,495 a year. So they're divided by 2, one for spring, fall, and one for winter. He's not using the $3,000 the government gave him. Why not? Because of his Bright Futures. Florida's paying his school. He passed his ACE classes. So the Florida's paying his school. Federal government is giving him money. He's got another scholarship. He's got so many scholarships that he's getting $7,000 back for 4 years every semester. That's about close to $14,000 to $15,000 a year. $15,000 a year. Doing nothing. All he did was went to school, study, and focus, and mentally was there. So that $14,000, somebody has to get up in the morning to go to work. Well, all he has to do is open a book and study, turn off social media, and just continue to get good grades so you can get the grades. They will pay you to go to school. I am a product of it, and I know it works. But again, they have to put in the work. They do not give it to students who are not putting in the work. And that $15,000 he gets every year for 4 years, he can invest it, purchase stuff and make more money. That $15,000 can become $150,000 in 4 years if he puts it in the right places and do the right thing with the money. Okay? So to close out, if you need more information about me, I have college choices idea. I can answer your questions. If I can't answer the questions, I will definitely guarantee you to somebody who can. I can recommend you scholarships. The time that we have now is not enough, but I can recommend you scholarship, or I can direct you to someone who has scholarships. My name is Miss Magdalene Exantus. I am with Mutual Education Group, LLC, but I work for the School Board of Broward County as a BRACE advisor. The BRACE advisor, what we do, we help kids transition to life after high school. Thank you so much. Yes, my phone number, yes. My phone number is 954 709 0767. 954 709 0767. You can text me first and then I will call you. I have students, one student last week text me at 10:46 at night. Good evening, Miss Maggie. I said good night. But it's okay. He was a junior, so it's so much out there that they're just trying to find the right person to help them. And I remember when I was so desperate trying to find somebody to help me, I had to call some people, and at a certain time of the day they didn't want to, but it was a lot. It's a lot for them. Okay? Thank you so much. And we'll take questions.
Thank you. I told you you're in for a treat. Thank you. Ms. Xantus comes with a wealth of information. And we do have a question. Come on up.
I'm in like a charter school. Like, how would I get high school credits?
That's a very good question. Charter schools, you have to work with the charter school because the reason is some charter schools do not allow you to take high school credit. I'm not 100% sure. That's why I push public schools because the public schools have a contract with the with the colleges. So I have students at Northeast High School who are taking classes at Broward College. But charter school can be very tricky. You have to speak to a counselor. What charter school do you go to? Sunshine Elementary?
Academy, I mean.
Academy? Yes. Oh, okay. Thank you. So charter schools, some charter schools do not offer dual enrollment, like take classes in college. So you have to check with your charter school. If you tell me, does high school, Broward schools offer dual enrollment, take high school credits? Yes, because the state of Florida has a contract with the colleges to take college credit while they're in high school. Okay, so your student can graduate high school with a high school AA diploma. So many credit that they won't have to pay for, which means more money in your pocket. So be careful with the charter school. A lot of students, what they do, they get out, if they're in charter school for their freshman year in high school, the parents take them out and put them in public school so they can use that opportunity in public school. And trust me, there's no such thing as a good school. It's just a lot of prayer. There's no good school. I'm sending, please. Stoneman Douglas, great school. 4 years ago. There's no good school. Please. I work for the county. If God, God forbid, there's drugs. If there's not drugs, there's fight. If they're not fight, there's drugs.
Yes.
One or the other. It's so lots of prayers, lots and lots of prayers. That's your only guarantee. Yes, ma'am. Oh, the camera.
To be in the camera. Oh, yeah. Okay, so good evening.
Good evening.
What I want to ask, is there a website to go to? Because my son is in charter school and I am considering putting him into a public school. Is there a place, a site you can go to? Because I did start and I did see a few public schools that had dual enrollment.
Yes.
Is there a site I can go to find those schools? Or I
Yes.
just have to search?
Broward Schools with an S at the end .com.
Okay, maybe
And
that's what I mean.
yes, browardschools.com. What grade
Okay.
is he in?
He's in 7th,
Oh,
so
do
one more
high
year,
school.
yes.
I try to tell parents don't because that's really personal. But I'll give my opinion anyways. Take them out.
Please do.
High school, definitely put him in public school, because public school, once he get into 8th grade, make sure in 8th grade he's gonna take advanced classes so he can be in an advanced program when he gets into high school.
When you say advanced classes, for example,
Advanced classes could be English, advanced
okay,
English,
I think he's already in. He's
Okay.
already in the
advanced. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Definitely Broward Schools with an S. With an S at the end, Broward Schools with an S. And .com. That's the school website.
Thank you.
Please put them in high school and in a public school. Pretty please. Good job, mommy.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
So
dear.
my question is, I've been enrolled in a magnet program at my school since I was in 9th grade. So could you tell me what the benefits of that are?
Which program?
I go to Hollywood Hills, so I'm in their entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur?
Yeah. Leadership
Okay.
Military
What
Academy.
grade are you in?
11th.
11th. Okay. Do they have a Cambridge program?
They do.
Okay. Can you get into the Cambridge?
No. They started when I was in 10th grade. Yeah. So I couldn't get in.
Okay, so the magnet program, speak with your guidance counselor. It is attached to Bright Futures, but the requirement is a lot different than the Cambridge program. Cambridge, 7 Cambridge classes, 7 exam, full ride Bright Futures. Magnet, there is some back ways and some certain ways, which is very legal, but the requirement is going to be different. So please, 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 please. Entrepreneur program is great, but you got to make sure it's attached to that Bright Future. But please speak to your counselor. I can help you with it too. If Ms. Shireen give you my phone number, I'll set up a Zoom meeting with you and I can show you what the requirements are for the magnet program, because you don't want to waste your time in that magnet and not get that Bright Futures. There's some other ways, but it is attached to it. Magnet is attached to Bright Future.
Okay.
They should have started you in 10th grade.
They couldn't. They started it late, so.
You took advanced classes in middle school?
I went to a charter school.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, yes. But yeah, there's other ways we can get you the Bright Futures. I'll set up an appointment with you. We'll do a Zoom meeting, and then I'll make sure you get ready for your senior year. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome, love. Good question.
Any other questions?
Charter schools.
That's it? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. They're online. It's going to, yes.
Yes.
They're online. So
They're online?
yes.
Okay.
But that's fine.
But
We
they have my number.
yes.
Mhm.
Yes, we have the number. All right. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We
Yes,
had a
thank
wealth of information, and I'm sure online viewers and our audience, we've learned a lot, and we are going to be following up with you, Ms. Xanthus. Thank you.
Yes,
And
please,
call.
you can call me.
Thank
Yes, if
you,
your
thank
son is
you.
going to definitely, you
All
want to
right.
go to a
All right.
public school.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't leave. Don't leave. All right. We have one more presenter. All right. So we're going into, thanks again, Ms. Xanthus. I really appreciate you coming out and sharing with us tonight. We had a wealth of information. Our final presenter is Mr. Christopher Tulloch. He is the Recruitment Assistant Director from Oakwood. Yay, Oakwood University, Office of Enrollment Services. So we are going to, at this time, if Mr. Tulloch is on, we are going to have his presentation at this time.
Thank you very much. Definitely appreciate you guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you guys for at least giving us this opportunity. I was actually down in Florida 2 weeks ago. I did the HBCU fair, and my mother lives in Orlando, so I spent a lot of time in Florida. Definitely thank you guys for just allowing us to come in. I wanted to share a quick slide with you guys, and then I'll go through my talk. 1 second. Okay. Can you guys see my presentation? Take that for a yes. Okay. All right, so we've been around for 125 years. No small treat. Came a long way. But what I want you guys to focus on is that the reason that we continue the process is to make sure that we transfer students through a biblically based education for service to God and humanity. So yes, we want you to be smart. Yes, we produce a lot of STEM students, but we also want to make sure that there's some part of you is going to make sure your spiritual life doesn't change too much. Quick video.
This is Oakwood University, a place where we put God first. Founded to provide the gift of knowledge and love to a world in need. Come study the world's troubles and solve them, like Dr. Milton Brown, who discovered healing medicines. Students come from across the country, from around the world, who want to enter to learn and depart to serve. Spend your years traveling around the world. We said we are leaders, so we lead. We stand out. We hear something is impossible, and we do it anyway. Everything we do it as a team. Together, everyone achieves more. Together, the team accomplishes great feats, beyond what any one person could do. Experience Oakwood. OU. The Oaks. Oakwood University. After 120 years, we can never forget why we're here. We enter to learn and depart to serve. To put God first, that is our way forward. Success is in our roots. Come to Oakwood. Come create and calculate. Shatter both records and social norms. Build improbable technologies and impossible futures. Unleash masterpieces and birth dreams. Come because there's much to be done out there and to be undone. Come find out everything of which you are capable. Come believe in someone greater than yourself. An experience unlike any other awaits you here. Here is a place where your dreams can call home. Creative ideas await your strength. Come, answer this call. Join this family of believers and achievers. Put your grand imagination to work. Come let your vision rattle these walls and help move the world forward. Come to Oakwood.
Okay, and now as far as where most of our students come from, we have about 1,500 students, right? It's a very small school. We try to make sure that they stay focused, but look at some of the places, the Bahamas, all over the place, Cuba, Mexico, you name it, all right? Some of the stuff that they study from biochemistry all the way to music, all right? Yes, we got some degrees. Science program is top notch. Our medical program is top notch. Our choirs are amazing, all right? A lot of the things you heard about how schools survive, we're near NASA. So we have a lot of opportunities to make sure that you guys not only get a lot of good stuff, but also get machines that you won't be able to get from another school. All right, our students, that's our priority. We wanted to get you to that next level as soon as we possibly can. All right, a few of our students. And we have these two special students. These young ladies are 12 years old. That's right, they're 12 years old, they're in college. The one on the left is a biomedical engineer. She actually have an internship right now with NASA at 12 years old. And the other one on the right side is a communications, all right? That's my 12-year-old. But I want to give you a few little things that we separate ourselves from other schools. We have a care program, and you say no big deal. But this care program allows each student to have an internship immediately. That means if you're in the medical field, you get a job being some kind of medical person. If you're trying to go out, be some kind of engineer, computer engineer, you get an internship being an engineer on campus. And for every dollar that they make, we match. And I'll show you some more information later on, okay? You heard about get all these certificates, right? While you're there, you have opportunities to work on other things. For example, you want to make sure that while you're there, there's a machine that you want to play with, you go play with it and also get certified, okay? EMT, you guys get an EMT certification while you're in college, okay? Want to make sure that you realize while you're in college, you get those, and those are part of our curriculum, okay? Graduation, we actually put you on a plan immediately. Once you start school, you're on a 4-year plan to get through school, all right? And we'll be able to guide you through that. Couple of quick things. It's nice to have school, but what you want to make sure is that you have the support, and HBCU provides you a little bit more support than others. For example, if you're not doing well in math, you get what we call a peer-to-peer mentor, somebody that just left that math class. For example, you're in Math 101, somebody that just left and went to Math 102, they become your peer mentor. So we have that set up for you. The next level, if you need more support, we get you a tutor. All these things are free. Not only the peer mentors, but all the tutoring. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're up doing your schoolwork, there's a button, there's an icon on your computer you can click and somebody will help you with your homework, okay? If you fail an exam, we make sure that we put you on what we call early alert, so you can actually get you ready for the next exam, all right? Okay, you've heard earlier about scholarship, merit-based scholarships. we give out merit-based scholarships. That means if you're in high school, and if you look on the second column with the GPA, if your GPA is a 3.9, go all the way to the right where it says total, you get $65,000 right away, day one. That's because you went to high school already, and whatever you gain from that high school, we're gonna give you money right away, all the way down to a 2.0, okay? Whatever your GPA is, you get money instantly to go to school. Now, yes, you could stay in Florida, right? But if you could get the same amount of money to go somewhere else and make sure you have more than just an education, that's what we're here for, all right? And I'll be able to go through that a little bit more later on, all right? The next thing I want to talk about, you heard about the financial aid. I'm not going to go through that again, but this is an example of somebody, okay? The Pell Grant, that first line, she meant is $6,000. SEOG, you also get the two loans, sub and unsub, but the challenge scholarship is what each person get. That's the page from before that shows you which one you get. And what we have also something called early bird special and other scholarships too, okay? All right, and you don't have to accept the loans. Our goal is to get you as much free money as possible so you'll be able to get through school, okay? All right, all your books are free. Yeah, all your books for 4 years. I'm a computer engineer. One of my book was $300, but your books for the entire 4 years is free. All right, so you don't have to add to that. Okay, everybody on this call gets a $500 scholarship. No questions asked, okay? All right, I'm gonna stop my screening and spend a couple of seconds talking about something. Hold on. I can't, okay, good. Stop sharing. Okay, all right. So you heard a lot of things about public schools and private schools. I heard a lot of those questions, okay? A lot of our kids that come from a charter school, that come from magnet school, for some reason, they do a little bit better. Nothing to do with public school, not knocking public schools. If you want to stay in Florida, fine. But you want to open your mind up to more than Florida. There's two states, Florida and Mississippi. Those students normally stay in the state because there's a lot of funds there for them. But open your mind up as a college student, okay? There are scholarships. We make sure that the student gets all the way through with as much support as possible. Your vice president of the United States right now is from an HBCU school. That means we got a lot of extra funds. I mentioned the CARE program. We try to let you not only get through school, but also have some kind of training while you're there. I mentioned the CARE program. For every dollar that you make while you're in school, up to $1,500, we match. That means if you make $1,500, but the job is guaranteed for 4 years, this is stuff you're doing on campus, we give you $1,500. That's $3,000 you get to make as an intern while you're going to school to help pay for your bill, okay? So I don't want you just to settle and go, I can't get through school, so I'm gonna do something locally. I want you to open your mind up and say, yes, there is a possibility for me to get out and open my mind, because school is more than just academics. It's an environment that you're gonna have to be, that's gonna stick with you for not 4 years, but for 40 years. All right, so don't settle, right? Don't get to the point where you think it's impossible. All right, I showed you the scholarships, right? It was mentioned that you need to fill out 8 applications. Let Oakwood be one of them. If you let Oakwood be one of them and you put 8 things down on 8 sheets of paper with all your acceptance, let's make sure that you could get through school and finance will not be an issue. The choices you make, if you have the same opportunity, if finance is pulled out of it, you definitely make a better decision. as Christians, I think we have to find a way how to keep God into our lives, not only when we get home and we get to school, but when we matriculating through these things. There's a lot of challenges out there. Yes, all schools got issues, but the better prepared you are, the better you will be in the long run. All right. I'm going to open the floor up for some questions. All right. But I want to make sure I'm very clear. If you think that your Christian education is important, I will make sure that I find a way to get you there. All right. Any questions? You guys there?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now.
So it's one of the presenters. When you get a chance, if you could put your contact information, because I would
It's
like
there.
to get Northeast High School.
Yep, it's there.
To our seniors too.
Yep, it's there. I put it in already.
Okay. Oh, it's in the chat. Okay, thank you. Okay. I never knew if there was an HBCU Christian school. Never
Yes,
knew.
there is. Oakland University from Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama.
Wow. HBCU Christian school.
Yes. I was there at your school 2 weeks ago. We did a HBCU function there, and it was actually pretty good. And all the application is free. There's no application fee, none.
All right, thank you, Mr. Tulloch. Any other questions? Okay, we have a few.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So earlier you displayed some GPAs on the screen. I'm not
Yes.
sure if you mentioned, but were they unweighted or weighted?
Unweighted.
Oh, all right.
Unweighted. So, and that's the money you get right up front. You get that day one, and also your job. You get $3,000 each semester. When you work, we give you day one. So that academic scholarship plus the money we give you up front will get you to start school for $0. And that's what our goals are.
Okay, thank you.
Further questions? All right, come on up, Sister G.
Good evening. Hello, can you hear
Yes,
me?
ma'am. Uh-huh.
Okay. You had mentioned for the internship, is it only on campus?
Correct, on campus. So what we do is we give internships on campus during the school year, and then during the summers, we send you outside. But we're guaranteed the jobs on campus for the entire 4 years, and then you choose where you want to do it. If you want to go back home and do an internship, for example, I have students here that are in our program that we send back to Orlando. And when they get back, their internship is ready in Orlando for them. They work with NASA and other places. So we definitely don't want them to ever work with McDonald's again. And this gives them a sense of pride that they're doing something. A lot of kids wait for 4 years. We want to get them started immediately. That work ethics that we need, we get that done early. So yes, internships on campus, and then during the summers off campus.
Okay, and I think in that same statement, you said that every dollar made, Oakwood matches?
Correct. So each students have an opportunity to make $1,500 each semester, and we match it. For example, if they make $1, we'll only match $1. If they make $100, we'll match $100. So the goal is for them to work as much as they can. For example, a lot of the jobs on campus, you actually get to do your homework. You make sure that you talk to your professor. For example, my chemistry students work in the lab. So they're doing their homework. They're helping other kids. And in the meantime, they're getting matched. So if they could make up to $1,500, they matched. And on top of that, if they're having problems in math, whatever, English, if they go to their tutor, they get paid $20 an hour to get tutored. So think about that. I'm having an issue with math and I get tutored and somebody pays me $20 per hour for tutoring me. We try to make sure we put the support in day one, so there's never a need to fail. I guess I'm a computer engineer, so I wish these support was available for me, but I want to make sure that they're available for all my students here.
Okay, I have one more question. Oh, I
Mhm.
think it slipped my mind just. I like to handle papers. Do you mail out your brochure and things like that?
Yes, so we'll be able to send you a package, and we have a website that will have, go to oakwood.edu, and I'll personally give you a package, or I'll be able to put the stuff online also. So I'll be able to give it to you both ways, paper or on site.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any further questions? Any further questions? Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Tulak. We do have, you mentioned brochures. We do have them. We're going to close out our Zoom session so we can go across the hall because Mr. Tulak did send us the brochures, the booklets, and additional information. And we are going to have the opportunity now, our breakout session, to go across the hall and to view those materials. Okay?
And I will be in Florida in 2 weeks, so I'm coming down.
Where are you going to be?
I'll be in Miami, but I'll definitely come up and stop and see you guys.
Okay. All right. We're in Miami, they're asking.
Oh, you are? Oh, cool. All right, so I'll be there.
No, where in Miami will you be?
Oh, it's Miami Union Academy, so.
Oh, okay. Okay, we know that. Okay.
Okay, so perfect. But I'll definitely come up and I'll visit you guys at the church if you guys are available.
Okay, thank you. We'll get it. We'll keep in touch. Thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time out, Mr. Tulak, to present to us. And with that said, we're going to close out our Zoom session at this time.
Thank you.
Before we break out. All right, thank you. Tonight and our in-person presenter, we just want to say thank you. We appreciate you, Ms. Xanthus, and we thank you for taking time out. We really do, and we want to give you this as a token from us. All right. Yes. All right. Okay. Yes, I have to get into the picture. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And then we'll go across.
First of all, I would just like to say that we, for this segment inside here, have come to the end of a wonderful evening. Can we agree that we got valuable information, no pun intended, both monetary and also positioning. You know, one of the things that I strongly believe in, and I'll use a sports metaphor to go with it. In team sports, or when you're playing single or double or anything like that, the way to win is to know where the ball is going to be and be there. If it's basketball, if it's soccer, if it's football, you must know where the ball is going to be and be there. That's how you win every single time. And that is what Miss Xanthus pointed out to us. That this is where the ball is going to be, and this is what you need to do to get to where the ball is going to be. It's not just about the money. It's about the things that you need to put in place in order to position you for success. Notice I didn't say money. I said success. Success. I want to just go down the line and say thanks and then have a closing prayer and then we'll transition over. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to our presenter here locally who gave us information beyond FAFSA, just a whole wealth of information that's available right here in your backyard. You have her email address, you have her telephone number. You don't have my permission to email or text her after 9 o'clock. I'm just kidding. You can email and text her after 9, just don't call her. That's off limits. There is a limit. I want to thank our presenter from Southern Adventist University, Miguel Esparra. He shared some invaluable information with us about the experience that you can have there, the affordability of college, and also where it is and what can happen there. Wonderful, wonderful. I can speak to Southern Adventist University because both my children are graduates. They're alumni, or alumnus, as the case might be, from there. And it was a wonderful experience, absolutely wonderful experience. And I have now her peers who went to Oakwood. They had a wonderful experience there too. So I can speak vicariously about those two universities. And we are going to look at what has transpired here today, and we are going to see how we can make it better. I want to thank Brother Christopher Tullo for joining us and sharing with us the valuable information and the wonderful possibilities that are there at Oakwood, both in terms of assistance and in terms of also how they are making sure that your experience there is one that is going to fit you for the here and the hereafter. So we've looked at all of those, and I want to say a special thanks to all of our presenters. Thank you so much. It has been a really rewarding evening. I want to say also thanks to Sister Anne-Marie Bainey, who was part of our program when we started out. Brother Tyler Casimir, thank you so much. A young man who we can rely on when he's asked to participate. He is willing, very, very important in this day. You're going to go places, Tyler. You're going to go places. You're going to go places. I want to thank also Sister Carrie Ann Blyden, one of our young leaders who we are grooming. And we're hoping that you will choose one of either the HSBCU or the Southern Adventist University. We hope that you'll also find a husband there. I'm just putting that as a plug. But you only get to look for him in the third year. In the third year. First and second, that's a blow-by. That's a blow-by. In the third year is when you put up your antenna, all right? Take it from me, I'm a father, I know, all right? And don't worry, the race is not for the swift. The race is not for the swift. And let God choose your spouse. Let him choose him. Let him choose him. And you will have joy all the time. Yes, you're going to grow together. That's all right. And you're going to have your little thing to work out. But yes, and that's one of the reasons why you go to an Adventist college, you know, is to find a spouse. But you find him in the third year. Listen, I'm coming right there. I'm ahead of you, sister. I'm ahead of you. I'm ahead of you. I was in men's ministry. And one of the reasons why we ask young men to participate up front is to give them visibility. Oh, really? I didn't know that young man was in church, you know, because he's hidden over here. I want to say thank you to Sister Shireen. Sister Shireen, please stand. Please stand. Sister Shireen, she worked tirelessly behind the scenes. A lot. You're going to see more when we transition over to the side there. She worked tirelessly to make this possible. And I want to say, I personally thank you, and the church, on behalf of the church, thank you so much for your dedication and love for this and putting it together. Thank you so much. It is because you have participated and given. Thank you so much. I want to thank our young team in audiovisual who are working behind the scenes. I want them to stand. Israel, stand. Brandon, stand. Let's see you. Right. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Listen, capable, and I said it up front before, give our young people things to do. Trust them. Guide them, and they will perform. Just remember this, you know. Just remember this. Calm seas don't make good fishermen. Rough seas make good fishermen. And so today you had a little rough water in there, and I know, but you are better sailors for it. Amen to that. And you're going to keep going. Thank you so much. You get the 2 thumbs up for both of you. Yes. We want to thank our online people who attended. Thank you so much for participating online. We really appreciate this new media way of sharing, and we were really able to do this sort of dual thing and really make it interactive. Obviously, people had to come to the front and share, but we wanted to make sure that everybody heard what you had to say. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to thank the members for their support, to bringing it to where it is. My sister here in the background provided our refreshments earlier today. Lovely, appreciate it. And I want to thank, boy, I tell you, I want to thank Pastor George Williams for his leadership. Leadership matters. I'm going to say it again. Leadership matters. And what you have seen today is a result of leadership. And my prayer is that God will continue to bless him as he leads God's people. As he leads God's people. So I'm going to invite everyone to stand. I hope I've covered everybody. I want to thank my wife for her support also, and my children for their giving their feedback, Sister Karen, Sister Jade, Sister Kiana. And we're going to just close out now with prayer, this part, and then we're going to transition over to the other side. And we're going to post some pictures from the event today. And thank you so much for participating. Let us pray. Loving Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for your tender loving mercy. We have come to the end of the Sabbath. We have come to the end of a wonderful program that has provided so much information to help our young people to prepare for the here, to be contributors to society, to make this world a better place, and for the hereafter. Lord, eternity is a very long time, and it is our desire, all of us here, to spend eternity with you. And so, Father, we ask that you will bless each and every family represented here, everyone who has participated. Bless our presenters, bless their homes, bless them in their going out and in their coming in. And Lord, as we go into this new and untried week, we ask, Lord, that you will go before us, make our pathways straight. May we have a productive week, and may your divine providence go before us. If we have overlooked to ask anything, we ask, Lord, you'll add it to our prayers. And we thank you in the precious name of Jesus. Let the church say, amen. Thank you so much. God go with you. Maybe we could stay and just give them a little piece of the, I'm wondering, yes, I'm just wondering if we should let the people stay in the chat, and then, well, maybe not. Yeah, we're good. You can close out the chat. You can sign up.